Hello everyone, here is the recap for WWE Monday Night Raw for Monday, April 15th, 2024. It's been only a week since the New Era show opening and it still hits pretty awesome. I love this new era of the WWE. The show opens up with Rhea coming out to the ring and the Montreal crowd absolutely pops. However, she comes out in street clothes with a black sling on her right arm. I don't know about the rest of you, but I immediately gasped at seeing this rumor of Rhea Ripley being hurt actually true. Rhea starts to cut her promo, and we already know what she's about to say, unfortunately. She is out of commission for a few months after Liv Morgan's attack last week on Raw. She told the crowd that she has to vacate the title. Just when Mami was at her peak, she has to leave the title in the ring. It was quite upsetting, and she blamed Liv's revenge tour for her being hurt. Liv then interrupts Rhea's promo by coming down the ramp with a ton of WWE security guards holding her back. Rhea, visibly upset with the whole situation, proceeds to headbutt one of the security guards. So the question remains, who will be the challengers for the vacated women's title? I guess we will have to wait and see. After the commercial break, Rhea is backstage and is consoled by the Judgment Day. The first match of the night is a well-deserved welcome back to Fight Night. Sheamus is back and was in his first action since August, when he was sidelined with some neck issues and nerve pain. But he's back and ready for action against his opponent, the Viking Raider Ivar. These two behemoths size each other up in the ring and get started with going back and forth with fighting each other in the ring. The highlight of the match was when Sheamus picked up Ivar on the second rope and did a white noise move right before the commercial break. It doesn't look like Sheamus doesn't have any ring rust and is putting on a great show for the Montreal crowd. Ivar doesn't look too bad either, showed off his athletic skills jumping off the top rope to land on Sheamus. The match ended with Sheamus landing a bro kick to Ivar, and the crowd absolutely loved this return to the ring. It will be great to hear what storyline they will brew for the big red fella. In another surprise entrance, Paul Triple H Levesque came down to the ring that was draped in red carpet and a table with a black cloak covering something up. Any guesses on what titles these should be? They look like tag team titles, but they brought out the new WWE Raw Tag Team Champs to make the official display of the new tag titles. What do you think of the new Raw Tag titles? Let us know in the comments section below. Do you love them, hate them, wish they kept them alone? What do you think? Triple H proceeded to say that it's a new era, and if you are going to represent this brand and those tag team championships, then you need to do it in a way that represents an all-new era. Triple H proceeded to say that the Awesome Truth will now be called the World Tag Team Champions. It's clear that the WWE is making the Raw brand turn into the World Title brand and the SmackDown brand into the WWE Title brand. Triple H takes the old tag titles back home, and the Awesome Truth are now holding the new World Tag Team Championships, waiting for the Triple Threat Tag Team match against DIY, The New Day, and the Creed Brothers. As the New Day was coming down the ramp, the screen appeared to show some crazy QR code with a bird and some other symbol. I have no clue what that was about, but let me know in the comments section below what you think it is. The tag team triple threat match was a very good one, but the highlight of the match was when the Creed brothers caught both members of DIY outside of the ring, and then both members of the New Day simultaneously flipped over the top rope from the ring and landed on both DIY and the Creed brothers at the same time right before the commercial break. The match ends with Julius Creed performing a superplex from the top rope, followed by Xavier dropping a big elbow from the top rope to Julius Creed. The DIY doing a double kick to Xavier Woods, and Ciampa pinning Xavier Woods for DIY to become the #1 contenders for the newly named World Tag Team Championship. This match was awesome and absolutely fast-paced. All three tag teams performed to perfection. What a match. Next up is another tag team match, but this time it was the women's division's turn to put on a show. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae are first to the enter. The ring followed by Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile. Now, I have to admit that I'm sure this tag match was okay, but it was hard to follow that triple threat match that had the Montreal fans going nuts. But it felt like the air left the arena, and the tag match fell flat in my opinion. But Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae end up winning by distracting the referee and LeRae pinning Maxine Dupree. At the halfway point of the show is where things got really interesting. Andrade comes out to the ring for his match against Dirty Dominic Mysterio, and the match seemed to be going like usual. But out of nowhere comes that little gnat JD McDonough barging into the ring after Andrade pins Dominic Mysterio and proceeds to kick Andrade repeatedly. Dirty Dom and JD are interrupted by Ricochet, and just like that, this match is over after Ricochet saves Andrade. Looks like a storm is brewing for these four superstars. Coming up next is my favorite Samantha Irvin moment. She gets to introduce the next women's match featuring Piper Niven and, of course, Chelsea Green, with their opponents being Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Now, I have to admit, this women's tag team match was way better than the one earlier in the night. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance have great chemistry as tag team partners, and it shows in their coordination in the ring. Piper is a beast in the ring, and a pretty good partner to have with Chelsea Green. The former tag team champions have made a pretty good case to be contenders again for the tag titles. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes' promo to open up the third hour of the show, and as expected, the crowd blew the roof off for our new undisputed WWE champion. Cody went on to talk about the man who would be his shield at WrestleMania. He thanked Seth freaking Rollins for being by his side at WrestleMania, but most of his promo was geared toward The Rock and the Bloodline. He called out the former member of the Bloodline, Jey Uso, and proceeded to plant a pretty funny dad joke while doing it. Jey Uso comes out, and once again, the roof is blown off, and Pat McAfee, in true McAfee fashion, is yeeting all over the place, and Cody hypes up Jey in the center of the ring. Cody asks Jey if he could have his back like he did at WrestleMania. Jey thanked Cody, but he wanted to win the World Championship on his own, which Cody understood and respected. As Cody was leaving the ring, Cody did another dad joke and told Jey, "Until we yeet again." Corny, but funny. In the next to final match of the night, Jey Uso faces Finn, but before the match, they have Nia Jax do a quick interview with Kathy Kelly about Rhea's injury. It feels like she may get a push for the Women's World title. She's definitely in the mix to win it. Okay, back to the Balor Uso match. Finn takes Uso by surprise and beats him down before the bell even sounds, but the bell rings and off they go into a pretty intense match. As expected by these two top-tier superstars, Finn and Jey Uso fight back and forth throughout the match with tons of chops to the chest and super kicks to the face by Uso. The match was even and could go either way, but it was Jey Uso who bested Finn by leaping from the top rope for a Uso splash after a tough spear. Big win for Uso as he rolls to his title match with Damian Priest. But Judgment Day decided to do shady Judgment Day stuff, and Damian Priest decides to come down to the ring. Not too champion, like if you ask me. But Jey Uso defends himself and escapes through the crowd. Yeet. As Jey Uso escapes through the crowd and walks out the front door of the arena, guess who he runs into? Yup, that's right, Sami Zayn. Sami tells Jey, "You know, 25 years ago, my first show I ever saw was in this area. Tonight, I come back as a champion. Tonight, I walk in this building the same way I walked in all those years ago, through the front door." And Sami walks in through the front door and down to the ring for the main event match. Sami takes a second to soak it all in, and then proceeds to come down the stairs with a flag in hand. You have to admit, it was a great entrance, and the Montreal fans lived up to the moment. What an epic entrance, and could be arguably one of the best moments in the WWE so far this year. After all of that adrenaline and energy used during that entrance, how in the world could Sami fight in the ring and retain his title against his training partner Chad Gable? I know the WrestleMania storyline of Sami winning the Intercontinental title felt very much like the Rocky movie storyline. Well, if that is the case, then this match felt like Sami was Rocky, and he had to return that favor that Apollo Creed asked for at the end of Rocky 3 and the beginning of Rocky 4. Chad Gable asked for this match as a favor for training Sami, and the two talented wrestlers performed one hell of a match. Chad Gable, with his technically flawless wrestling skills, and Sami's grit and determination and unrelentless will to win. What a match for Sami's hometown for the Intercontinental match. Sami got busted open and was bleeding from his forehead as they were exchanging non-stop German suplexes and counter moves. Chad Gable continued to punish Sami Zayn's leg and ankle for most of the match, but Sami persevered and kicked Chad Gable in the corner and pinned him to retain the Intercontinental Championship. What an amazing match, and what an emotional match for Sami. It actually felt like a PLE match, and Chad Gable did great in telling the story throughout the entire match. Well done by both of these superstars. The show ended with Sami and Chad at the raising each other's hand, and as Sami was about to go celebrate with his family, Chad Gable just snapped and turned on Sami. Chad Gable put Sami Zayn in an ankle lock in between the ropes, and the show went off the air. Looks like this is just the beginning for the Chad Gable-Sami Zayn feud. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments in the comments section below. We will see you later this week for our SmackDown recap.